Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the next session. Today, we are going to learn about increment, decrement, and while loops. In yesterday's session, we have done with some conditional statements. Also, we have seen many types of the conditional statements that else, if, and if else statement, then if statements. And we have done multiple examples also. Apart from that, we have learned why do we use break statement and switch cases, right? So in today's class, we are going to looking for increment, decrement, and while loops. So first of all, we will do increment, decrement, then we will come to the while loops. So have you heard this term increment in anywhere? You must have heard this term increment that like it you like we always listen that increment in salary, right? What does it mean that increment in salary? It means that increasing the salary, right? It means that increasing the salary. So basically increment means increasing something, uh increasing, right? And decrement means is decreasing. So this is the general meaning of increment and decrement. Let's do one thing. Okay, so let me here I'm just taking one variable. Okay. Yeah, now let x is equals to, I'm giving the value as 5. And if I like console dot log x, then what would be the output? 5, right? So, so this is basically case 1. Let's take it as case 1. Let's take it as case 1. Now we have, let's take another case. Let's take case. Just I cannot write like this. To erase this only like text here. And for change color, okay. Let's take case 2. So this is basically case 2. I'm giving the value as let x is equals to 5. And what I'm doing here, I am doing like x is equals to 5 plus 1. So, and then I'm just console dot log x. So what would be the output as 5 plus 1 is, what would be the output? 6, right? And let's take another case, and which is case 3. I am giving let's change the color. It's very weird color. Take this color. So I'm doing let y is equals to 5, and I'm doing y is equals to y plus 6, and console dot log. What would be the output? Yes, 11. Sorry, console.log y, and the output would be 11, right? So this is basically case 3. Case 3. Now let's see one thing, what I am doing, what we are doing here. In case 1, in case 2, and case 3. In case 1, what we are doing, we are just taking the values and the print this value. In case 2, what we are doing, we are increasing the value. What we are doing, we are increasing. It's increasing, right? Here also, y is increasing. Like it was the first 5, and then we are increasing the value of y. So this is basically increment. Increment, there is increment. Let's take another thing. So basically what we are doing here, uh, we are incrementing here in both the examples. What we in the case 2 and case 3, what we are doing, we are incrementing. Like, okay. Okay, now let's take another case. Case annotated. Okay. Now let's take case and another case. Let's take let x is equals to 5 and I am doing x is equals to x minus 1 and I console dot log x. So here what is happening? Let's take it here. See, in both these cases, what we are doing, we are increasing the value. But here, what we are doing, we are decreasing the value. What we are doing, we are decrement. It's decrement. So here, basically, decrement is happening, and with minus one. Okay. So how increment means is increasing the value, and decrement means is decreasing the value. Okay. Now, just give me a minute. Okay. So I hope this much is clear to you guys that to increase the value, we say is that incrementing, and for like decreasing the value, we call it as decrement the value. Okay. So this is basically increment and decrement in like, but this is a certain way we can write like this. So okay, now let's focus here. How we write in JavaScript. Okay, when you want to increment by 1. So how can you write it? You can write like this. Like suppose there is a variable s x and you want to increment it by 1. So how can you write it? You can write like this x plus plus, or you can also like write like plus plus x. You will get the same output in both the condition. You get the same output in both the conditions. So this is the increment by 1. Like suppose you want to do want to decrement by 1, suppose like decrement by 1. So how can you do that? You just simply write, you can simply write x minus minus, or you can write minus minus x. You will get the same output. For this also you will get the same output in both the condition, and for this also you will get the same output in both the condition. Okay, let's take let's see in the replit. Okay, as I've told you, now here what I'm taking a variable x and giving the value as 10. Okay, now x plus plus, I'm doing x plus plus. So what should be the output? Console.log x. Now let's see. No problem. This is problem 1. 1.js. So what would be the output? Okay, I put the wrong spelling. 1.js. So what's the output? It's 11. If I do, let me comment it, and if I do like plus plus x, Then let's see what would be the output. Output is same as I have told you that there's certain ways to write like x plus plus and plus plus x, you will get the same output, right? Now let's take decrement point. Let's make it comment. Now I'm taking a variable let y is equals to and giving the value as 10. And if I do y plus plus, sorry, y minus minus. So console dot log y. So what would be the output? It should be 9. Yep. Okay. Now what if I do like this minus minus y, what would be the output? Same, 9. Okay, got it. So these are the two different ways to increment the value, but output would be same. So what we call them? Okay, now let's go another page. So for x plus plus, what we call it? We called it as pre-increment. Sorry, post-increment. Post-increment. Okay. Similarly, plus plus x, we called it as pre-increment. Now why and how? Let's take example. Let me show you here. Let's take case 1. Now let's take case 1, which I'm taking the variable which is let x is equals to 10. Just give me a minute, guys. It's- Okay, so sorry for the disturbance. Yeah. So now I am taking case 1 and again I'm taking the next variable which is let y is equals to what I'm doing x plus plus and console dot log what dot log y, sorry, and sorry, console.log x. This is basically case 1. Okay, now let's take case 2 as well. Let's first write case 2 as well, then I'll tell you. So this is case 2, and I'm doing let x here, which is the value is 10, y, and I'm doing here I will do pre-post method. Okay, and then again I'm doing console y and console x. Okay, now what's the difference? What the difference? For if you like, if you will do like this, like let's first understand the case 1. I'm taking variable x which is value 10, and what I'm doing x plus plus here. So what would be the output of y? And so output would be 10, and the what's the value would be x? The value of x would be 11. Okay. If I talk about case 2, what would be the value of y? first of all, let's take what would be the value of x, what is doing. So the value would be 11. And for the what the value would be y, it would be also 11. So what's the difference? So what's the difference between them? So basically, what is happening here, x first give assign, like first assign the value and then increment. That's why we call it as post increment method, right? First, what it do, it first assign the value to the variable, then increment. That's why we are getting, so the first value would be 10. So first it gives the value y to 10. Then, so that's why the output would be 10. Then it's increment by 1 in the value of x. That's why the value of x would be 11. But in the pre-increment, what's happening? It first increment in the value, then assign to value to the variable, then assign the value. Right? That's why the output here, the value of the y would be 11, and here the output of y would be also 11. Okay, so let's understand it by doing, let's do it here. Don't take it. Okay, so I'm taking variable 10 and also I'm taking variable y. What I am doing, I am first doing post increment method. So console.log y and then console.log x. Now let's make it clear. Okay, now let's see the output. What it do first, it will assign the value to the y first, then increment in the value. So let's see the output. See, 10, 11. The value of y would be 10 and the value of x would be 11. Okay, so this is the post increment method. If we do like this, plus x, let's remove it. So what will happen? We'll got both the values as 11. Okay, so this is pre-increment. It increment first, then assign to the assigned value to the variable. Okay, I hope this much have is clear to you guys. Let's come to the decrement part. Okay. Now it is similar like the way we are doing in increment. It is similar in decrement as well. Okay, so we are doing x minus minus. So this we called as decrement. Sorry, post decrement. Okay, and minus minus x we called it as pre decrement. Okay. Now let's take case 1 for this. Case 1. It is like same we have done in decrement, like increment, it works like same. Let x is equals to what? 10. Let y is equals to, first I am doing post increment, decrement. Then console.log y, then console.log x. Similarly, I am doing here, just changing the method. This is what? This is post increment, but now I want to take pre increment, right? So here I'm doing minus minus x. So this is basically, so what would be the output here? So the output would be the value of y would be 10 only, because it's a post decrement method, and the value of x would be 9. And if we talk about here, it's pre-increment, pre-decrement, so the value of y will be 9 only. And the value of x would be 9, 9 itself. Okay, let's take it on Replit. Let's see. Let's take problem 2. Okay, I just copy pasted. So what we are doing here, we are doing post decrement method. What does it means? It means it first assign the value to the variable, then decrement it, then decrement the value of this variable. Okay, so first what it does, it the value which it has, it give to that different variable. It gives to this variable. Suppose this is a one box and there is one another box. So this box want to take this item. Suppose this box want to take this item inside, but there is already one box there and this box is empty. So what it does, it like give this box to that, give this item to that particular box and take this item into it. Okay, so first it like gave the value and then take it. Okay, similarly here as well, what we are doing, what the this post decrement method does, it first assign the value to the variable, then decrement it. Now let's see the output. Node problem 2.js. You can see the value of y would be 10 and the value of x would be 9. Okay, so if we are doing pre-decrement, so what would be the output? Now let's see. Both the values have the same value, which is 9. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you guys. Like, what does the meaning of increment, decrement, what is post increment, what is post decrement, what is pre decrement, and what is post decrement. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you guys. If there is any, and please do practice by your own as well, so that you will get the more understanding about it. Okay, so now let's move forward to the while loops. Now, just think, what does the meaning of loops? What does it means, loops? Just think in your mind. What does it means? It means one thing which is doing the work, which is doing again and again. One thing which is repeating itself again and again. Okay. Uh, Nowadays, everybody is listening music on Spotify or any music app. So there is a one option that loop the song. So that particular song gets repeat. Or you have the playlist. If that playlist has end, like you have playlist of 10 songs, right? If your playlist has, you are listening your playlist, okay? The first song will play, then second, third, fourth, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. When it ends to the 10th song, it starts repeating from the one, right? So this is basically looping. So the thing which repeat itself again and again. So this is loop. So before this is the journal meaning of loops, that repeating itself. repeating itself again and again. It's a journal meaning, like English meaning of the loop. So let's continue with loops. So let's take one example. Okay, I'll I'll make you understand the loop concept with this example. So suppose this is a frog race, and here the frog is. So basically, he's not a frog. Okay. This is here. This is frog basically. Okay. So this line is a 50. Okay, so you have to jump like this from here. Then you need to go here. Then you need to jump here. So this is suppose 15-meter long. Okay. So basically this is a race ground and you have to go from here and here. So before going that, what the question which comes in your mind, and you will ask to the organizer who is going to organize that race. What you will ask, that what is the starting point, right? You'll start, first thing would be what would the start point. Then what will you ask, that what is till when? What's the end point? Till when you need to write. You need to jump. Okay. This is the first thing, that starting point. The second thing you will ask, till when you need to jump, and the third thing would be what you will ask, how much distance to cover in one jump. Okay, these things you want to ask with the organizer who is organizing the race. So these are the three things you want to ask. So if I talk about in technique, it's I'm talking about journally, but if I talk about in technical terms, so the start point, what we call as a start point is, so we call okay. For starting point, what we call in the technical terms, that initialization, which I have already told you what the meaning of initialization, that we are initializing the variable, we are initializing where we need to start, right? So first thing is initialization. Let's change the color. Okay. Then this is the first thing. The second thing, for till when you need to jump, what does it mean? It is taking condition. What it is taking? Like till when you need to jump. So till when you need to jump, basically it's a condition. What it is? It's a condition. So I'm just making CON here. So you get to know that it's a condition. And the next one is how much distance to cover in one jump. The distance you need to cover in one jump. So what it is, in technical terms, it is increment, sorry, increment or decrement. Are you getting my point? Like the distance, how much distance you need to cover in one jump, is whether you need to take one jump, two jump, three jump. So this is basically increment. Until when you need to jump, it comes in condition. Starting point is, it stands for initialization. Okay. So uh, and here is a, suppose you are starting from here and you need to jump from, like, from here to here, that's a one jump, then this is a second jump, and where need to jump, you need to jump till 20 jumps. Suppose you need to jump 20 jumps. So this is condition, and how much distance you need to cover in one jump. This is basically distance. So this is basically increment in the technical, in coding language. It would become in um as a like increment or decrement. Okay. So now let's forward. Let's understand the syntax of the while loops. Okay. Okay. So basically, I have already told you that first comes in initialization. So I told you that first one is initialization. So initialize the variables. So first of all, variables, you need to initialize the variables. Then you need to type condition. Like I am initializing a variable which is here, let a is equals to 10. Okay, now what you, the second step would be, what you need to do, you need to put condition. So how, like, condition, give condition. How will you do this? That while is a keyword. Okay, and the condition, suppose a is greater than 50. Okay, then you need to start from curly bracket and end. And here you need to write the code. Like while, like, you are writing that while a is not getting 50, is not getting greater than 50, is not greater than 50, then you need to do what you need to do. You need to do a plus plus, increment in a. Okay. What you need to do, you need to jump one by one, till when a is greater than 50. Okay, so this is basically the condition, and the this is third one is increment. I told you increment or decrement. Here what we are doing, we are doing increment. So this is basically the syntax of while loops. Okay. So what it is, it's a syntax. So what it means? So what we are doing, we are initializing the variables. Let a is equals to 10, and the condition what we have given, that while a is greater than 50, you need to a plus plus. It means that, like, this is the line you need to, and this is basically variable. Okay, sorry. So this is basically variable a, and the value of a right now is 10, and here is 50, and here is 51. So a need to a has to increment one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one, one by, till when a is equal, is greater than 50. So here, and when he comes here, the loop will get end. Okay, and then what he needs to do, he needs to console it, right? So console.log, like print console.log a. So before this, we will do this. Okay, console.log a and a plus plus. Let's try this code in Replit.